Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. So this news just dropped. I just found this article on comicbookmovie.com. God of War Amazon just officially cast its Kratos. And I think it's great casting. Laughing at the irony of it. So basically, Ryan Hurst, who voiced Thor in God of War Ragnarok, he is going to be our new Kratos in live action. So that's him right here. He voiced Thor in God of War Ragnarok, and he's going to be our new Kratos in live action. And so when this was announced a couple of years ago, I was a little skeptical because a lot of video game adaptations aren't really known for being good. Um, Max Payne, Resident Evil, there was like 6 Resident Evil movies. They all pretty much sucked. They didn't focus on any characters we know. It was some random made up just over the entire series. I give them props for being creative in that way, but all he had to do was just say John Valentine Leon is the main character and then just make a bunch of movies. And they'll select it's really simple. I mean, there's some good adaptations out there, like Tomb Raider movies from the early 2000s, starring Angelina Jolie. Those are pretty good. There are 2 of those. Yeah, video game adaptations don't have the best track record. Look at some Fallout on Amazon, which is pretty good. Last of Us season 1 was good. Season 2 was hit and miss. I was a little skeptical about this because God of War is one of my favorite game series out there, besides Devil May Cry or Uncharted or Tomb Raider or something like that. So you really need to be spot on when we cast Kratos. And obviously, you have to take some liberties with how massive you want him to be, because this dude, I don't know how tall he is, but Kratos is a freaking muscular dude, obviously Spartan, Greek, all that stuff. So I was a little concerned with that they weren't gonna get someone that can actually pull this off, but it looks like they got someone that can actually do it. I think it's kind of ironic that it's the voice of Thor from Ragnarok. So at least this dude has familiarity with the games, which I appreciate, because sometimes these people just cast random people that don't know anything about the franchise are getting involved in. Like, no offense, but Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, which is horrible casting. Uh, Mark Wahlberg as Sullivan from Uncharted was terrible casting. And the movie sucked, so it shows. It was a terrible film. So I was kind of hoping that they would start with the Greek mythology era for Kratos for this live action series, because Kratos has a lot of history to go into and explore, and the newer games don't really do that as much as I would have liked. It kind of feels like a soft reboot, but it hits hints here and there of his past, but it's pretty much its own thing. So for like fans like myself, I know Kratos' history. I played the games, all of them, and for fans and muggles who don't know Kratos' history, I think it's kind of a mistake to not feature the Greek era of the character. And you do flashbacks. And you can do flashbacks to cover the Greek era if that's what they want to do. I don't know what the budget is for this. So I'm like, even if you look at this, when I'm showing footage of my gameplay, if the guy's at least tall and muscular, you can definitely pull it off. He has to look for sure. And then again, I like the idea that he's already voiced a character in the game, so we already have that knowledge of these characters. So that's definitely a bonus for me as a longtime fan of the games, especially God of War 3, which has been my favorite entry in the series. It's like Kratos had a family in the Greek era, as many people tend to forget. He had a daughter and a wife in the earlier God of War games, and they both died. So this thing with the kid, Atreus, Loki, whatever you want to call him, it's not exactly new territory. I mean, the kid is he's been around longer than his wife and daughter were. So and I guess I just wanted to see Kratos beat the shit out of Zeus in live action. Like, because that's a favorite part of God of War 3 is like, face me, Father, it's time to end this. Yes, my son, it is time. That's part of the game for me. It's definitely the most memorable part, besides, killing Hades and Poseidon and Athena. A lot of good highlights in those. Well, like I was saying, like there aren't that many video game adaptations that stand out per se, like the Uncharted. The Uncharted movie wasn't great. The Resident Evil movies aren't great. Last of Us season one was good. Season two was hit and miss. I don't know what happened with that particular season, but it was just awful. I don't know how it got best adaptation at the Game Awards, but definitely didn't deserve that. And usually, I'm a fan of the friend Last of Us Part Two, but that particular season just didn't deserve any awards. So I wanted to show this article just for the reason that this is an older article, but it says that God of War series has ordered 2 seasons right before they started casting for the characters. And we just got news of Kratos being cast in live action. And now we have news that there's going to be 2 seasons already ordered. Just kind of awesome. The live action God of War series has set director Frederick Iotoy to helm its first 2 episodes. And Amazon has ordered 2 seasons of the video game adaptation. Variety has shared some updates on Amazon and Sony's live action God of War series. And they've ordered 2 seasons and casting is underway. So this one, Zion, is obviously Kratos, male in his 40s to 60s, any ethnicity, war-hardened, muscular figure, haunted by lost and abandoned past. After his wife's death, he's forced to raise a 10-year-old son. Yeah, that's Kratos. White man in his 60s, 70s. This is probably Odin. This one's probably Odin. This one's Atreus, Joshua, or age 9 or 12. Glenn, a white man in his 30s to 40s, probably Balder. And Phoebe's probably Faye, because she's in both games. Or not Faye, Freya. The chick with the lady with the bow and all that, she goes after Kratos after he murders her crazy son. White man in the 40s, 50s. Maybe this is Balder. says says God of War is a compelling, character-driven franchise that we believe will captivate our global customers as much with its expansive and immersive worlds and its rich storytelling. We are honored to share in the adventure of exploring the God of War mythology in such a momentous way with Sony Pictures Television, PlayStation Productions, and Santa Monica Studio. We are so proud and excited to be working with our friends at Amazon Studios. So this just dropped today, this article, and I am very excited for this. This is very good casting, I think, anyway. It says, wow, he was excellent in Sons, but he's better be hitting the gym hard. Like, yeah, that's my thing. Like, I was kind of hoping they would go for the Greek era first, because there's a lot of rich history there. There's not as much history with the Norse mythology era. He's just an older Kratos, honestly. The year was like being retired, but then he just reluctantly gets back into the fray and whatnot. But the Greek era would have probably featured younger. If they wanted to do the Greek era, they probably would have had the cast someone a little bit younger, which I would have preferred anyway. So we can just gradually build to the Norse era. But this is what they want to do. They want to adapt the newer games. I'm not entirely opposed to it, but I would have preferred to stick with the Greek era first and then gradually go from there. Someone said, I'm sure they will cover it in flashbacks and such as audience get to know his version of Kratos. I'm like, yeah, flashback episodes, I guess, depending on how many episodes they have for the season. If there's like 10, 15 episodes, you can have like at least 2 or 3 episodes focused on flashbacks if that's what they want to do. But so yeah, this is him. This is Ryan Hurst right here, who played Thor in Ragnarok. Damn, Thor is Kratos now. That coincidence aside, I like the idea of Ryan Hurst as Kratos, since he can play these gruff, imposing stoic figures, but internally has such depth and vulnerability, which fits the character at the stage of his life they are adapting. Yeah. So, like, when I first clicked on the article and it said that they had officially cast Kratos, I'm like, dude, I swear, if they got Chris Judge to play this character in live action, I'm gonna lose my mind. Lo and behold, it wasn't not Chris Judge, but it is someone else from. It said someone from the game. That's why I'm like, well, they get Chris Judge to play Kratos in live action. So it's a great choice. He was great at Sons of Anarchy and The Walking Dead. He's got quite the range. I don't remember him in The Walking Dead. I got to catch up on some of those seasons, but yeah, I think it's a great casting. I'm excited, very excited. One of the few times I can actually say that about. One of the few times I can say that about a video game adaptation is that the casting is what's going to make or break the show. And with Kratos, I think he's the most important character to cast, obviously. But I mean, this gives me hope for this. This gives me a lot of hope for this series. I already got 2 seasons ordered. for Amazon Studios. But this could be the best video game adaptation of all time. This better be violent. This better be dark. Like Kratos is not a kid-friendly character, so this needs to be like rated M, like deep ass rated M, like the games. Like I want to see blood. I want to see gore. I want to see him go like ripping guys to shreds and shit. I want to see him beat the shit out of Zeus. I want to see them beat the shit out of Baldur like he does in the game. Like, I'm talking as a diehard fan here, so I'm still a little shocked they didn't go with the Greek era first. That's what I wish. That's where I would have started personally, because again, like I said, there's a lot of rich history with the Greek era, not so much with Norse mythology. I don't want to say like Norse is like at the end of his life, but kind of. It's kind of like his retirement years, you know? It's like so I'm like, why don't they just start with the Greek era and just gradually build and give me like 5, 6 seasons, starting with Greek mythology, get all that out of the way, and then go into the later years. Because arguably the original God of War games are probably more popular than the newer ones, honest truth. Especially 3. This is always been my favorite. I haven't played 2 or 1 in a long time. And there's Ghost of Sparta and shit. Forgot so many other titles, but there's been a lot of God of War games before the newer ones were released in 2018 and then 2024, I think. There was a little bit of a gap between 2018 and Ragnarok, but yeah, I'm still overall pleased with the casting choice, but I would have preferred starting with Greek mythology. And just thinking about what they could really do with that on TV. You could really dive into all that history with the Greeks and Zeus and Poseidon, Hades. You could really go all out. And it's Amazon, so I know they got the budget for it. You could, I don't know how much action we're going to get with this, because it's like I said, the Norse mythology era is more of like his retirement years. He's a lot older than he is in the Greek era. And again, like if they want to do Greek mythology part of his history, they probably should have gone someone a little bit younger. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with how they're handling this so far. I was a little skeptical. I'm like, okay, they're going to do God of War now. I'm like, oh God. Like looking at how Last of Us turned out when season 2 was being dreadful. And I'm not a Fallout person. I get that it has a fan base. I'm not one of them. More of a Skyrim guy. But yeah, video games don't have the best track record when it comes to adaptations. Again, like I've seen the Resident Evil movies. They're not good. They're kind of a guilty pleasure because they kind of still fit into that world, but just barely. The Tomb Raider movies from 2000 with Angelina Jolie is still the best of from that particular character. I don't think Sophie Turner is going to be good at all in the role. I don't think she can act. I don't think she has any range. She doesn't seem to know how to show any emotions when she's acting, so that's a problem. So yeah, this is the gentleman that's going to be playing Kratos in live action, Ryan Hurst. He voiced Thor in God of War Ragnarok. Came out in 2024, I think, like a year or so ago. So I think it's kind of ironic that I was like, it said that the actor that cast is from the games. So I'm like, okay, did they get what's his name, Chris Judge or TC to play the character? So, like, again, this gives them an advantage because he has history with the games and whatnot, and and so yeah, I'm excited. I hope that I don't want to see like a boring ass drama series. I want to see action. I want to see Kratos kicking the shit out of the gods. I was like, it's not exactly a slow burn with the newer ones. It's just like it basically his retirement years, and I can see the appeal of the father-son dynamic for a broader audience. But for direct fans, I think they should have gone with the Greek mythology, especially for the long term. Because like I don't know how far they can push these last two games because Ragnarok is I feel like a finale for the series. And like if you really want to go all out with Kratos and that storyline, they definitely should have gone with the Greek mythology era. But that's just me, I guess. I'm still pretty pleased with the casting choice. I still think they should have gone with Greek mythology era. So he's even got the beard. So all he needs is the makeup. So the Kratos isn't white, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, it's a fictional character and get over it. He's Spartan. I'm like, get over it. Good grief. Yeah. It's like Chris Judd ain't Caucasian either. And still voiced the character, and TC's not Caucasian either. So I think we need to just start acting like these characters exist in real life and just accept the fact that these are adaptations. And I have all the faith in the world this will be great.